Hello, and welcome to episode 110 of Philo. Gosh, I named this something. Ant something. I named it something. Oh my gosh. Ant Infestation. That's what I named it. Gosh. Oh, I swear I have a brain. Kittens were born in my house today. And so I've been like nursemaid to kittens. So I'm going to blame it on that. Here is my co-host and better half. This is Robin Fisher. And then here is my guest star and excellent artist and good friend, Gary Clare. And so,
Gary!
Yeah. So we're going to get into good Philodom. Let me change the music here. And I'll get here. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? Because where we left off was with Philo, or no, with the ants attacking our buttery guy. It's up to you.
Yeah. The ants are like the monster from Spirited Away.
Yeah, that's what you were saying last show. They're like the evil worms.
How about he calls a bunch of uncles to handle the ant problem? Like a
true dad joke.
A league of uncles or something.
A league of uncles.
I love it. A League of Extraordinary Uncles.
Okay, sure. Then you can do panel 1, and that will be he's on the phone calling a League of Extraordinary Uncles.
Okay.
To save him from ants.
That's
Okay.
Hi, Kay.
Hi.
So League of Extraordinary Uncles. What happens in panel 2 then? Help us out, Kay.
Maybe the uncles drop out from like a helicopter or something, or some sort of.
Well, what do the uncles look like?
They're led by Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sly Stallone.
A bunch of drunken Ned Flanders.
Oh, I like that idea. Do that one instead.
Like,
the drunken Ned Flanders. Okay. Let's see. Let me grab my sketch later.
So it was a sad day in my country.
Why is it a sad day in your country?
We lost to Morocco. Morocco totally trounced us in football or soccer, depending on who you're talking to.
Well, Morocco's a good team.
Apparently. They totally kicked our butts.
One of the YouTube guys that I follow, Atozi, he actually attended the Denmark versus Germany game and watched Germany trounce his team. And so he's like, it was good to go, but that wasn't so fun. Okay, so we say the uncles descend.
And then the other big news in my life is that so I went into work this morning. I got a phone call at like 7:30 from a different city, like far, like in my neighborhood, but like in the outskirts, like a far city from me, right? Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't know this person. I'm not answering the phone. I get to work. The power's been out since 3 a.m. at work because there was a tornado that went through that area of town with hail balls the size of baseballs in the middle of like the beginning of July, and it was really bad. Like my assistant manager and me drove around after work, and he showed me like all the places where tons of trees, like I mean hundreds of trees, lost giant limbs. Like one of our butchers, he lives literally across the street from the store, and one of the trees in his front yard lost 3 limbs. His neighbors and him had to spend like an hour cutting it up in the morning at like 4 a.m. because it was over their cars, blocking their driveways. There were so many power lines that were down. It was crazy. So in the end, we didn't get power back on until 2:00. And it was like such a big deal, right? Because people were having 4th of July parties, right? Happy 4th of July, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
And also, because of the Canadian-Morocco soccer game, people were having tons of parties, and we had to turn away so many people. First, it was just like, yeah, we don't know. And then it'll be, okay, I think we're opening at 11. And then I think we're opening at 1. And then I think we're opening at 2. And then at 2, it actually came on like at 2:04. We were all ready to go home. We're like, come on, this is crazy. We're not doing anything. And then at 2:04, it all came on.
Wow.
It was excitement in Canada.
No one was hurt in the tornado.
Oh yeah, I don't know the reports yet, but they're like, this one guy showed me pictures of a woman. She had she heard creaking in her baby's bedroom, and she immediately grabbed the baby out of the crib, and literally like not even 2 minutes later, a tree bough just crashed right through the roof. And they were I saw the pictures of like aftermath, and the baby probably would have died. Like, can't say for sure, but the tree bough crashed into the crib, right? So yeah, I'm sure there were people that have been hurt, because there were a lot of live wires all over that area in Thorold. But in my area in St. Catharines, like, I don't know, our trees are fine. I don't even remember the storm, really. I mean, I heard the thunder, but that was about it. It's been raining quite a bit already. But hail, like, that's crazy.
Especially the size of baseballs. That's.
It wrecked up. It dented one of the neighbor's windshields. The glass got cracked. Up by my work, and but also a tornado. Like, we never have tornadoes in the city of St. Catharines and Thorold. Well, it was Thorold that got it, but like, yeah, crazy.
There was
crazy weather.
There was one tornado that touched down in Minneapolis when I was living there, and we had to actually go down to the tornado shelter in MCAP. It was over the summer when I was working there over the summer, doing janitorial work and like cleaning out the dorms and stuff like that. And it was funny because there was an Episcopalian church on 3rd Street in Minneapolis that at the time was having like a televised debate on the local public access, right? About whether or not gays should be allowed in the church, right? And there was a guy saying, like, if I'm wrong about gays, not being allowed in the church, may God strike me dead, right? And he was against gays being allowed as members of the church, right? Anyway, at that moment, the roof flew off the Episcopalian church from the tornado on 3rd Street, right? And the tornado, it went on 3rd Street, went down 3rd Street like 2 or 3 blocks, hit the church, and then dissipated. And so, like, it hit the roof, it hit the church, but it didn't damage really anything else.
He's probably thinking, I'm still alive, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, but he was like, may God strike me dead. And then, like, the roof flies off, right? Which I think is kind of a warning that, like, you're wrong.
One of my favorite stand-up comedians, in fact, I'd probably say he is my favorite, that's alive anyways.
Yeah.
He's Canadian, he's called Glenn Wolfe. And he does this bit about God and gays, and I forget how it starts, but basically he's like, and then he made the gays, and he's like, I can't stop myself. Why do I keep doing this? And then he's like, maybe I should make some breeders to hit them. Because that's the truth. Like, if you believe in God and God makes all things, he made the gays too.
Yep.
Like, you can't sit there and say they came to their own. Well, I guess they believe the devil made the gays.
Well,
I don't know what they believe.
Religious studies is one of my jams, right? I like to read about what the text actually says. And when I'm talking about what the text actually says, I mean, I'm talking about the Aramaic, the Greek, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, like the little fragments that we can find from the biblical times about like what these stories actually are, because they have been changed so much over the thousands of years. They are not the same stories today that were originally written back then. And plus there's other books of the Bible that have been taken out of the Bible, like the book of Mary Magdalene, the book of Judas, right? The 3 books of Enoch. You know, like there's so many.
My cousin, in one of our national galleries, we have a giant picture of Alexandria.
Yeah.
And she apparently had a book as well.
Yeah.
She was the first woman, like the first woman to give herself to God, like the first nun.
Yeah.
But of course, because she was a woman, who knows where that chapter went.
Well, the book of Mary Magdalene says that Mary Magdalene was Jesus's most trusted confidants, and that basically they got married and had kids, and that like he lost his power when he died and he became mortal, and stuff like that. The book of Judas says that Jesus told Judas to betray him so that his ideas would live beyond him. Because if he continued to run, then his ideas are running as well. But if he dies for his ideas will grow beyond him. And he understood that martyrdom. And so he told Judas, you have to betray me. And the book of Judas is
the original conspiracy at the beginning of time.
Yeah, and Judas is like, I don't want to do it. I love you. You're my you're my brother and everything like this. And so yeah, Apocrypha, no worries. These are considered heretical texts by today's standards. But the thing is when they were written, they weren't. And they were deemed later by the church to be heretical texts. When the church went, no, these are proper Christianity and these are not proper Christianity, right? And like the Torah is the same way. The Torah says that Jews aren't supposed to eat pork. Says, things like that. But the Torah was written by Southern Jews in the kingdom of Judah. In ancient times, something 2000. Oh, hi, Magic Marmot. But something like 2,000 years ago, right? And so the ones in the South didn't eat meat, but the Jews in the North did. And so when they wrote the book, when they wrote the Torah, and they're saying you don't eat meat, that's a proper way to be Jewish. What they were really doing was chastising the Northern Jews for the way that they were Jewish. And it's just interesting, like 666 in the Bible is actually Nero.
Yeah.
There's so much that people don't understand about it, and they don't realize that it's a historical text.
Yeah, it blows people's minds when you point out that nothing was written about Jesus during his lifetime. Like the first mention of him was on 144 AD.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Same's true of Muhammad. The first writings of his teachings were 80 years after his death.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now that all being said, the idea of like, hey, let's be nice to each other, treat the foreigner in your land as you would treat your brother, all those kinds of ideas were revolutionary in the time of the Romans, but they kind of weren't, because the Romans believed that anyone could be Roman. All you had to do was just go to Rome and go through the process of becoming a Roman, and then you're Roman, right? And the next country that did that said that all you have to do to be one of us is just come here and go through the process, and then you're one of us, is America. Happy birthday, America, right? And so that idea of treat the foreigner as you would treat, your own brother and stuff, I think was actually a Roman idea. And it just got written down as Jesus's. right? Or maybe it was reminding people of this idea that it's like, hey, we're all foreigners, right? Like, I don't know. I think Rome was probably one of the first metropolitan societies. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm just like dipping my toes in ancient Roman history.
Oh, I think about Rome all the time.
It's your Roman Empire?
I'm practically like a dude. I think about Rome all the time. But I don't think about like the battles and anything like that. I think about like in excavations, they found a three pot stove from ancient Rome. And what's amazing about this 3-pot stove is it had one fire at the bottom, and then it had like 3 chimneys that went up to 3 different flutes, where you could choose to open up the cap or not, or you could choose to slide the flute, and it was a piece of I want to say bronze or tin that was over the top of it that they would slide, and that would let the heat of the fire through, right? And so they had 3 of these things that would let the fire through from one fire. And so it's a 3-pot stove way back in ancient Rome. And I know I keep going over the same kind of stuff, but I think about the person that cooked on that stove and like, what did they cook? What did they make? Right? Like, they had to manage 3 pots, right? They're managing one fire. And so they have like this one only open a little bit because that one only needs a little bit of heat. And this one open a lot because that one needs a lot of heat. And
that's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of stuff I think about when I think about ancient Rome. So it's maybe a little different. I don't think about their wars with Carthage.
And it's burned down by the Jews, right?
What, Carthage?
Or they were blamed, right?
They were blamed for it.
Yeah.
But the Jews are blamed for a lot.
Yes.
Oh my God. I have new neighbors. And I have like my bog hut next to my house.
Yeah.
And it buttresses their fence, and they've turned it into like a barbecue area. And they got like, a nice swing and all this stuff. They were partying one night, and all I had to listen to while I was out having my smoke was fucking Jews this, fucking Jews that. And I was like, wow. Are you for real? There's still people like this?
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's such an outdated form of racism. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
This is in Canada?
I'm not a fan of Zionists, but I have nothing against Jewish people.
Me either. Like, I don't know. After the Holocaust, you'd think people would learn something.
No, they're Carthage. Yeah. Hannibal? Yeah. Hannibal the Terrible? Yeah, he was from Carthage. He was great. He decided to go into Spain when Rome was defending like Egypt and like they're fighting battles all along the eastern coast of the Mediterranean. And he had the idea of, let's go into their colonies in Spain and see if they see it coming. And they didn't see it coming. And so what he did is he convinced the people in Spain, like, you really don't want to be ruled by these Roman guys, do you? And they're like, no, they're taking all of our stuff and they're not treating us right. And they're, not letting us be who we are and everything like that.
Fucking
And
guys.
yeah, and so he basically said, if you guys fight with us, fight with the Carthaginians, blah, blah, blah. If you fight for Carthage, then we'll just let you guys be Spain, and we won't take you over. And so they're like, okay, that's awesome. We want our freedom. And so he basically had this army that was like dedicated to getting Rome out of Spain. And Spain had vermilion at the time. They were getting tin. They were getting, gosh, I'm trying to remember what else they were getting from there. But vermilion is a red pigment. And it was very, very sought after in the higher courts of Rome to have vermilion paint on your walls and like dye your clothes this bright red color. And so when it started affecting the noblemen that they couldn't get this bright red paint, they're like, no, you have to go and do something about it. And so, they're sending over their generals, and the generals can't do anything about it because it's the locals. It's the locals that are fighting them. They're not fighting a foreign army. Yeah. Oh, I like history. I read a lot about history. I think it's great. I'm breaking the Liefeld rule. I'm going to be drawing feet.
You should just put a black bar over it, like labeled censored.
Yeah, no feet. Let's see. I don't know. I'm taking my time. Let me know when you're done with your panel, because I've been taking my time with mine.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they're the 3-pot stove was found in Herculaneum. Oh, you saw history once. Oh, very nice. Yeah,
you guys are currently living in history. I saw I saw Trevor Noah's new special, and it was very, very interesting, because a lot of what he talks about is like, he goes over slavery, but he's kind of talking about now and how, like, what would you do in that instance? And you'd like to think that when it's time, because he's also talking about how right now you guys are living through history, like you're in it right now, like and so then he says, like, if he was during slave times, he'd like to think he would be strong, but he knows he wouldn't. He'd just be hoping and wishing to get that job in the house, kind of thing. It's easy to, in hindsight, and it's easy in the future to sit there and say, oh, I would have done this, or I would never have been found in that situation, right? Kind of thing. Right. But you have no choice a lot of times. And it's kind of what's happening now. Like, I'm sure everybody feels a little powerless what's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of artists being arrested right now in your country.
I'm trying to remember his name. That was transporting a box of zines.
Soto. Elizabeth Soto is maybe her husband you're talking about, because Elizabeth Soto is the one that is doing 50 years of jail time for doing anti-fascist zines, because she was at an event where after she left the event, an officer got shot.
Yeah. But no, she made no kidding, Magic Marmot, about keeping us struggling. I mean, Ian and I have been talking about it. He he blames himself for, like, gosh, why are we going paycheck to paycheck every month, and why is it so hard, and I can't provide for my family and stuff. And I keep having to remind him, like, this is manufactured. Like, it's not you, it's the system, right? Yeah,
well, everybody's in that situation. Like,
everybody's in this situation.
I'm making more money now than I ever have before. Like, if I was still working at Fabricland, I would be making maybe half of what I'm making right now. but I'm still living hand to mouth.
Yeah.
Like, my big hustle right now is I've got to hurry up and get a roommate because that'll definitely take some weight off of me as far as money problems go.
I thought you were living at home.
Well, I live in this house that my brother and I are paying rent, but the rent goes towards the mortgage.
Oh, okay.
And it's just me and my brother, but my brother lives downstairs now, so I'm going to move into his bigger room. But I've been having to, I wanted to paint it before that. And that's just taking a lot of time because I don't have a car. So, it's, and I work all the time. So it's only on certain days that I can go out and buy the paint, that I can go out and get the primer, that I can get the brush and then actually do it. Because the other problem is this room, at one point the light wouldn't turn off. It's one of those LED, like, flat to the ceiling lights.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to cut the electricity to that room because the light switch wouldn't turn off no matter what I did. So that's the other thing. Like, I'd get home late at night and it'd be dark out and I couldn't paint in that room because it'd be dark. So, but now that I've had, like, the days are bright until about 9 o'clock. And on Canada Day, I just furiously painted. So I only have a little bit left, but I can still move all my stuff in. So right now what I'm doing is I'm emptying out this room. I'll probably have a different backdrop next week. It'll be totally different because I won't be in this room anymore.
Nice. Okay.
Anyways, I was really lucky because at my other job with the nuns, they have so much furniture they're trying to get rid of. So I got like a whole little set so that the room is going to be furnished, and then in the next week, I got to take photos and put an ad up so that the university students that are coming here I can get one. There's like a housing board through the university, and they're going to want to see pictures of what it looks like, right? So I got to get that done. Monday is my deadline.
Yeah, Canadian
so
merch. Canadian merch.
I don't know who Todd Maffin is, but Canadian merch. You should get Canadian merch from Copit567, I think his name is. He's got a ton of cool T-shirts, like a maple leaf, and then it says AF. And let me see. Oh, I can't. Okay, I might disappear. I'm gonna see if I can find his website so I can post the link, but it might cut me off. So I'll be back. I promise.
Okay.
Here.
There we go. It's not my best Flanders in the world. And Arnold doesn't really look like Arnold. I got his muscles. Kind of his muscles. I needed to give him a bigger chin, I think. Emotional support Canadian? That's cute. Yeah. No, Robin's not my emotional support Canadian. She's already been taken. So, yeah, Robin's not my emotional support Canadian. She's already been taken by another American. So, I need to find another emotional support Canadian.
So let me get that link. It's Copic613. It's spelled let's see here. I can get back on there.
Can you post to
Kopke. Okay, it's Kopke. Sorry, I'm saying it wrong. It's Kopke. I can post it to you because if I recall correctly, I can't write onto their chat.
Okay. Yeah, then
So
post it to me and I'll post it to the public chat.
613. Yeah, there's the link.
Okay. Yeah, I don't care. Don't do that. Oh, no, it just has the pictures that I sent you of the kittens.
You have pics of the kittens?
Yeah, I sent Robin some pictures. I can grab them. I might just like grab the box and go, here's kittens. But yeah, they were born on the 4th of July. So that's what I was doing today. Was my cat had kittens today. They're adorable. They're 2 little kittens. One of them is a little tuxedo cat, and then one of them is looks like the father, which is one of our other cats, Rowan.
So you're gonna have 4 cats hanging around?
Yeah, I lost Robin. No, Robin. No, Robin! I keep losing Robin. There she is.
I'm here. No, I sent the message in here on our private chat.
Oh, our private chat. Oh, okay. I was looking at Facebook. I'm sorry. Yeah. There we go.
So there's the link. His stuff is really funny. I quite like his t-shirts. And they're good quality. And his skits are funny. He does, skits like talking like a real Canadian. Actually, if you guys want a really funny song, there's this rap group. I forget what their names are, but their song is called Out for a Rip. And it's the whole thing is what? The thing is like just like Canadian lingo, out for a rip means going for a smoke. And you go get a twofer and out to Timmy's with your bud. But anyways,
do you know Ryan George? He's a Canadian.
No, I don't know Ryan.
He's a Canadian comedian on YouTube. And,
okay.
I think you would really like his channel. His comedy is like goofy, silly, a little meta. He's the guy who used to do the pitch meetings for gosh, I'm trying to remember the I think it was Ranker that used to do them, and then he got the rights to his pitch meetings, and so he brought him over to his own channel. But yeah, it would be like here's the pitch meeting for Terminator, right? And it's him playing opposite himself, having an interview about like, hey, I'm gonna pitch a movie, Terminator, but it's a comedic pitch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I just really like his stuff. I follow his channel, and then I follow like his other channel. And it's funny. Like he does a thing where he just makes fun of like ridiculous like over designed rich like yachts and stuff, and just like, why do you need this? Like I can't do it in his tone, but he'll point out like just ridiculous things in the design, and he's like, yeah, of course I want to play video games while I'm in the hot tub roasting weenies at the same time. This makes perfect sense to me. So it's just funny. Yeah, there's him, and then there's another comedian out of Canada I like named Julie Notley. Yeah.
Sorry, I just had to. My screen kept timing out every like 30 seconds, so I just had to change the settings.
That's okay. You didn't drop out. But yeah, Julie Notley too, and so sometimes they'll do crossover stuff between their two channels. Like they pretended to have a relationship. They weren't actually dating in real life, but they were doing this like sarcastic, like, let's talk around actually the stuff that we're saying to each other. I don't know. It's hard to explain without. I just have to point you to his stuff. I'm gonna find a link.
Yeah, I'll look it up if you put it in our Facebook Messenger there.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna find a link. Because he's funny. I feel silly that I like go on about this guy, and then I'm like, no, I'm just gonna post a link. Yeah.
On Netflix, they have this series called Last One Laughing, and the Canadian one is so good. It's got Tom Green, Colin Mockery, David Foley. Who else? Oh, Mae Martin. It's excellent. I've watched it twice now. It's like comfort food. So good.
Yeah.
Thank you. I see it. They haven't done an American one. They've done it. I've watched the British one and the Canadian one. And they're just excellent. It's basically they take like 10 comedians. I think it's 10. And then the whole object of it is to make each other laugh. And if you get caught smirking or, laughing in any way, shape, or form, you get like carded. And then after your third, you're out. And whoever is like the last one with the best straight face wins. And it's kind of hard when Tom Green's on, let me tell you.
I guess I'll just say the Uncle Ned's descend. There's at least 2. Okay. I think I'm ready for the next panel. I don't know where you are.
Sorry. I'm slow.
It's okay. You were getting further along than I was. I'm gonna grab some tea. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I think I'm ready for the next one.
It's too late. She's gone.
No, I was just grabbing some tea.
Oh, wait, we changed it to Uncle Ned's instead of. Okay, I'll change that.
I noticed you turned the ant into a xenomorph as well.
That was the last page, right?
Well, it wasn't really a xenomorph. It was a collection of ants.
Oh,
I think it's appropriate, though.
It's appropriate. It works. Yeah. Yeah, I think it
We're
works.
saving xenomorphs. Or a xenomorph.
I can
Hey,
make it.
so I went to that convention on the weekend.
Yeah, how'd it go?
It went good. The ladies that I were talking to were pretty impressive. Yeah, I was quite excited by the cross section. I just wish I did a better job in questioning them. I was pretty nervous. So like, one woman is Fiona Smith, who I've told you about, I think last time we spoke. This is her book here.
Mm-hmm.
Her work is crazy. And she's been doing comics since the 80s in Canada. So this is a collection of all her, like a lot of unpublished stuff that hard to find stuff. So this is great. Look how thick this is. But yeah, so she was there, and she has such a long history in comics, and it was an honor to talk to her because I've been a big fan. Like, I realized since I was a teenager, because she was in we had this free paper that go across Canada that was all about like independent Canadian music, and we could find it everywhere. And when I was in small town Ontario, Sault Ste. Marie, like it was a lifeline to the rest of the country and cool music. So, yeah. But she always had comics in there once a month. So I've been a fan of her work since I was a teenager, which is great. So she was there. And then one of the other ladies that was there, she did a comic about raising her son while the city around her gets gentrified, which is the city of Hamilton, which is where I was, right? But this woman is amazing. She did like 2 or 3 comics that won all these awards that were beautifully illustrated, gorgeously colored. She did it all herself. She was never really a formally trained cartoonist. She did it all in her 30s. Now she's in her 40s, and she's not doing that anymore. But she's back to her old job, which is being like a professor of math. I was like, you're amazing. This is crazy.
There are some people that are just alphas on the planet. We are on panel 3 and panel 4.
Okay, so
you are on panel 3, sir.
Okay, Uncle's battle.
Yeah, so the Neds and Arnold Schwarzenegger are descending. What happens then?
I'm trying to think of a funny way that they can.
100N says that they love the Xenomorph on Twitch. So.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what do they do when they land?
How are the uncles going to defeat the ants? Pull out their credit card. I don't know.
Or leaf blowers, maybe.
I love it. I love it. I love leaf blowers, and then just the ants just kind of blowing away.
Cool.
I do love that idea. So I think that's what's happening in your panel is they're pulling out leaf blowers.
Cool.
Ned's descending. Yes. Yes, Ned's descending. And then, so they pull out leaf blowers to blow the ants away. And then what happens after the leaf blowers for my panel, for panel 4?
Where's Philo again?
Philo sent the ants. So he was like, go ants. And so he was at a distance because he shot them with a sniper rifle that was also filled with ants.
Maybe they get blown onto him, like they cover him with ants.
Oh, I love it. Okay, let's do that. So his hubris has gotten to him. Okay.
Backfired.
Yes. Oh no, my hubris. Oh, the ants get blown into the melted butter and it's like a bonus day for them. You know what? I could have the melted butter also go all over Philo. So it's like a bonus day and Philo's hubris. Yeah. Oh no, my hubris. And as Philo's getting blown. We haven't seen the Xenomelian in a while either. Let's see. So there's those three. Were those the only three women that were on the panel? Robin?
Sorry?
Were those the only three that were on the panel?
No, that was 2 that I mentioned, and then there were 2 other ladies. There was Evine, and she was a Muslim girl. She was like in her 20s, and her cartooning was just gorgeous. But she was more of an animator. And then there was Sharifa, who was the same. Sharifa's just kind of getting into the whole comic book aspect of it, but she studied design and animation at Sheridan. So I talked to a lot of people when I was there, and so I have like a lot of people interested in being on the show.
Oh,
and when I say a lot, I mean like 8 to 10 people. And then when I was like there, I realized that there's a couple of studios that I know that I can ask them if they might have any artists that might be interested in participating as well.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. It's just I want to make sure that artwork was being done.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I understand. One girl that I talked to, her work is awesome. Her name is Laura Zajak. Oh, I'm probably saying that really wrong. Zajacz. But yeah, like her work is really good. I mean, it's kind of Becky Cloonan, but
Oh, very cool.
But I was quite surprised to see her work at just like this indie Hamilton Comic Con.
I like the backgrounds.
Yeah, she like here. This is a great little montage she does here.
Yeah, with the kind of poster board.
Yeah.
Bulletin board motif.
This is a good one. I like this image here.
Nice. Yeah, I like that style.
It's just a cute coming of age punk rock sort of love story. Oh, look at this one's nice too. So she's in bed and then she's got these panels, but you can see like in the background, it's all her bedroom and stuff beyond the panels. It's a nice little stage.
Yeah, the I want to believe poster in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
So yeah, like she's interested in doing the show.
Yeah, awesome. That's something we can talk about off panel or off.
Yeah, of course.
Camera,
I'm just showing you some of the artwork though. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it fun to interview everyone?
Yeah, well, it was just a panel, so it's been a while since I've done it, so it was a little nerve-wracking. But I was well prepared, I think. I don't know. It's funny too because Fiona made a point, and I do agree with her. But at the same time, like, you kind of find yourself in a rock and a hard place. So, like, I used to have this problem too when Black History Month would roll around, or like women in what was it? Is it they call it Women's Day or whatever too? Like, if I had a comic book show that fell on that day or that month, I would showcase them. But the thing is at the same time, you're kind of ghettoizing them, for lack of a better term. And I would always talk about Black artists, and I would always talk about female cartoonists. So it's not like they weren't getting enough airtime on my show.
Yeah.
But I also took those opportunities to showcase that talent. So if it was Black History Month, I would do one show where I just focused on Black cartoonists, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, the big point is, and Fiona made that point too, is that, and I agree with her, but as I said, I feel like we're sort of in a rock and a hard place, is that we shouldn't be pigeonholing women. The panel shouldn't have been about women in comics. You know what I mean? It should have been more than that. Because they should be on the same level as men. Like, nobody's doing a panel about men in comics, right?
Well, at the same time, I was at San Diego Comic-Con the year that they had the women's in comic panel, and not a single woman on the panel. and Trina Robbins was attending.
That was like at least 15 years ago. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so
but Trina Robbins was attending the convention. Okay, you had Colleen Doran attending the convention, right?
Yeah, that was not smart.
Yeah, you had people there. You had Jill Thompson attending the convention, right? You had people that could talk about being women in comics, right? And Ramona Fraden was also attending the convention at the time, right? It could have been an amazing panel about women in comics, and instead they had to scramble the next day to put together a panel that wasn't advertised with the people that should have been on the first panel. So I feel pigeonhole, right? But the point of a spotlight is to bring focus to something.
Mm-hmm.
And if something is never spotlighted, people will never notice it. And that would be my argument, is that these things, like Spike Troutman is a fantastic Black cartoonist. So is Afua Richardson, fantastic Black cartoonist, right? And I love both of their work just for who they are, the way that they draw. Magic Marmot was asking if the artist wanted to do that panel. Conventions can be exhausting. But the point I was making is Afua and Spike, being Black is part of their identity as an artist, but it's not completely their identity as an artist. But it can't be ignored because it is part of that identity. Like they have been excluded from places because of that identity. And I think that it's not a bad thing to shine a little spotlight and say, look at this talent that people are ignoring.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too. But as you can see, it's a rock and a hard place.
Yeah,
both sides have a valid point. To me, I was sort of like, I see it as a way of lifting up my, I don't know, my peers. I mean, I'm not an artist, but I care about that industry. So My point, I mentioned like Lilith Fair, right? Like
Yeah.
until Sarah McLachlan did Lilith Fair, you know, promoters would only put one female musician on a playbill because they were just like, you can't have more than one because they don't sell tickets. Nobody's interested in seeing them. They have to be with a male band, or, you know, you won't sell tickets. But she knew that to be a lie, and she didn't want to pit women against each other. And then the other thing she did that was excellent was she mashed up genres. Like she had Missy Elliott on the Lilith Fair, and which is just incredible to me.
Well,
so
she
it's a way of lifting each other up. That's how she saw it, and that's kind of how I see it.
She also included hip hop artists in Lilith Fair. She had.
That's literally what I just said.
No, when you said mix up genres, yes, but
yeah, and she had Missy Elliott, a hip hop artist, which is incredible.
I'm not that familiar with hip hop. I just knew that she had Queen Latifah also perform at Lilith Fair, and that was all I was going to say. I knew she had Queen Latifah perform, and then when Moulin Rouge, or not Moulin Rouge, excuse me, when Chicago came out, Queen Latifah released a kind of a ballad album at the same time. And so she went back to Lilith Fair to advertise that ballad album, knowing that that would be an audience that would be more receptive to her jumping genres versus a hip hop audience that would be like, now why are you singing Broadway tunes? But, you know, she was classically trained before she ever went into hip hop. And I don't know. I agree with you that it's like, this is literally the book I'm reading right now. This is literally the book I'm reading right now. Okay, if you can see it, if I can not blind the title, Who Cooked the Last Supper? The Women's History of the World. And so it's talking about the literal erasure of history, of women's history. You know, the fact that like in paleontology, they always talk about, you know, man the hunter, man the guy who dragged food back to the cave and everything like that. But the thing is women going into a monthly cycle versus being in estrus, which only comes about once every 5 to 7 years. That's actually what had us kind of develop society. That's what had us like go into it and increase our numbers and stuff like that, was an actual physical transformation of the female body, right? It's fascinating things that in paleontology, they don't even talk about it. They don't even address it in anthropology, right? And it's like, it's a big thing that separates us from other apes on the planet, is that every other ape on the planet goes through estrus, but humans. And it's like not even discussed. You know, and it's talking about things like ancient religions and just simple things like who changed the chamber pots, you know. Mm-hmm. all these great and talented artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo and everything like that. You know, they're talking about how great, wonderful Renaissance men, geniuses they were, right? But they weren't the ones cleaning their own laundry. They weren't the ones cooking their own meals, right? Who was doing that stuff? And, you know, who was mixing the paint for the artists? And who was gathering the flowers to crush up into the paint for the artists, right? And there's all this evidence that the majority of agrarian work throughout history has been done by women. And they were talking about how throughout the breadbasket of the world, between the Tigris and the Euphrates River, they kept finding in the anthropological record these wooden sticks that had been burnished and hardened by holding over a fire. And they kept finding these sticks, right? But the sticks weren't they weren't sexy like bone, right? It's like if you find a bone tool, it's like, oh, look at this fancy bone tool, right? Wow, this is a great bone tool. But they kept finding these wooden sticks. And so they literally would add these sticks back to the stick pile, right? It's like, oh no, we found another stick tool. Who cares what these things are for, right? And so they literally had thousands and thousands and thousands of these stick tools that no one bothered to look at what they were used for. And until like literally it was a research assistant that are like, why do we have all these sticks? It's like, well, we know they're tools, we just don't know what they're used for, and they don't seem that important because they're only wood, right? And the fact that like wood survived this length of time, like that should be really like incredible, right? Well, what they found that these sticks were for tearing up tubers and roots of grasses. And so when you are tending to your field and you have primitive tools and you are pulling up wheat or another type of grass, and you need to pull up the whole plant without damaging the roots, you use one of these tools to break up the dirt and then pull up the plant. And it took them, probably about like 50 years of gathering these sticks before someone figured out what they were finally used for. And then they realized that the majority of people using these sticks were probably women, because they were doing the grain collection and they were doing the gathering of materials. And then the sticks became unsexy again. And so now whenever they find these sticks again, they're like, oh, that's just a grass stick. Who cares? Right? They're finding thousands of these, right? They are tools of the paleo record. And people don't care because they're unsexy gardening tools. Yeah, so I mean that's the kind of stuff that's in that book.
That's cool.
Sounds very cool.
Yeah. And she writes it with a sense of humor and sarcasm. Bitter sarcasm. So yeah. Between that and then gosh, I'm reading Will I Ever Be Good Enough, which is Will I Ever Be Good Enough? Healing the Daughters of Narcissistic Mothers. Yeah.
Ooh.
And so between those two books, a lot is coalescing in my head right now. And then I also am reading Capital 1, 2, and 3, Unabridged by Marx, for no apparent reason. Well, that's not true. I'm writing.
I read that years ago. That's a hard book to get through.
It is and it isn't, because it's like, I find that if I read it aloud to myself, I understand it better. I don't know if that makes me sound stupid, but it's like if I can hear it, Plus, I have a dictionary next to me. It's fair to say that people in the 1800s had larger vocabularies than we do today.
Yeah.
I just...
Especially in America.
Yeah. Last night, Ian took Annabelle out for fireworks, and I didn't go. I didn't really feel like celebrating America right now.
But America is today. What happened yesterday?
Oh, well, yesterday was the 3rd, but because it's Friday, a lot of places had fireworks shows.
Oh.
Just because, it's like, hey, it's a big day. Let's have fireworks shows on a Friday, and stuff like that. So they had a couple shows yesterday.
Well, it is a big day.
I live in Los
250 years old. That's a big thing.
I know, quarter of a millennium.
Doesn't feel like a celebration at all.
Yeah, but we have Ye Orange Stain That Wishes to Be King. Yeah. They're scaffolding over the columns of the White House now. I just and then he hung up the 11-star eagle. You know, the Nazi 11-star eagle.
Jeez.
You know, the Confederate eagle, because the 11 stars represent the 11 states that seceded from the Union just before 250th anniversary. Hey, happy birthday, America! Here's a reminder of our Civil War.
Right.
You know, it's like, come on, dude. And what I was thinking about that when he posted that is like, he was really kind of just saying that the Civil War never ended. We just had a really long ceasefire. You know? And I'm so bothered. It's just I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know,
I watched the documentary about John Krickafalusi yesterday.
Oh, I didn't know there was a documentary.
Yeah, it's really good. Very informative. Discusses everything. It's interesting too, because I was thinking about how, like, in time you always find out the answer. Like, I remember when things went to shit on Ren and Stimpy, and they were like, we fired the creator, and everyone was like, why? That's so messed up. And no one would really talk about it, but then they talk about it in the documentary. Another example is I remember watching Buffy and Angel obsessively, and that whole Joss Whedon, Chris McCarpenter thing. We were like, what the hell is happening? Like, she's not even in it anymore. Now she's a ghost, and then she dies, and they had her having sex with a kid, and like, what the hell is going on?
yeah.
And but now, like, we know exactly what happened. It's interesting how the truth eventually does come out.
Yeah, Ian was actually watching Cabin in the Woods earlier today, talking about Joss Whedon, and you know, we're just kind of discussing it a little bit about the concept of, you know, ancient evils and you know, like the guys in the control room, are they evil? Because they're perpetuating this evil. They're trying to cause these deaths to happen, but they're doing it to save the world. So are they themselves evil? And we were having this discussion and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, I always thought a really cool sequel would be, you know, like 10 years later after the events of the first Cabin in the Woods, and you have like some survivor from the underground bunker trying to enact a ritual again to save the world, you know, and he finds some virgin in a survivor camp, and he's like trying to do it, right? But Ian said, oh, that would never happen. I said, why not? He's like, because Joss Whedon created this. And it's like, that's right, he's poison. He's poison. It would never happen, you know? And it's like Alan Tudyk said in an interview that he was talking to Joss Whedon about, like, isn't it so cool to wind this universe and see it keep going, right? Or see it go. And Whedon jumped on him and said, yeah, but you have to keep winding, and like yelled at him. And Tudyk was like, whoa, I didn't mean to, you know, like hit a nerve. But like, yeah, I don't know. He just doesn't seem like somebody I would want to work with after everything I've heard about him.
Yeah, I don't know that much about him.
Joss Whedon?
I just know his work. I don't know his styles or anything.
He was a little bit racist, a little bit sexist.
That's unfortunate.
A little bit rock and roll.
Like, apparently he would like did you watch Buffy?
Yeah.
The actress that played Dawn wasn't allowed to be in a room alone with him.
Well, she had that in her contract?
No. She had it put in later. because of stuff that he did on set with her.
Wow.
Yeah, but remember, she was there for like the first season. She was the key. The first season she was the key, and then after that she was the sister of the Vampire Slayer. But yeah, that second season, after that, he couldn't be alone with her because he was like there was stuff where he was having her wear sexier and sexier and sexier outfits, and this girl was 14 when she started acting.
Yeesh.
She's passed away now, by the way, and she passed away from suicide. So you know, it's fair to say that he might have had an effect on her. Yeah, anger issues. That was.
I don't remember her dying from suicide. She had stomach problems.
Wait, was it stomach problems?
Yeah, it was weird. Like, it was a weird death. It wasn't suicide.
Wait, I'm checking it out now. Michelle.
She ate something weird and it killed her. Like, she was a diabetic and she ate a shit ton of sugar or something. You know what I mean? Like, it was a weird death. It wasn't suicide. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's how I'm remembering it.
Okay, wait. She died at age 39. Shocking fans, knew her work. Police found the Gossip Girl actress dead in New York City apartment. The officer had responded to a 911 call. When they arrived, they discovered an unresponsive woman at the residence. She was pronounced dead at the scene and was later identified as the person. Ruled her cause of death undetermined, and her family refused an autopsy on religious grounds. In April 2025, the coroner confirmed her cause of death via a toxicology test, renewing questions about the star's health. So, reading between the lines of, we don't want an autopsy on religious grounds, and then the coroner confirming it was a toxicology issue, she probably downed a bunch of pills and killed herself. Because I know how these articles are written. It's sad, but that's probably how she died. It says it was ruled natural, but it was a result of complications of diabetes mellitus. But it says a group of diseases that affect the body's uses of blood sugar. But the thing is that statement was made. That statement was made 6 months after she died, and it was made by the family and not the coroner's office. The coroner's office said it was a toxicology thing, which could be a variety of reasons. If it was her blood sugar, that could be toxicology. If it was poison, that could be toxicology. If it was alcohol poisoning, that could be toxicology. If it's a drug overdose, that could be toxicology. Toxicology is a way that a coroner hides the death because it's not an honorable one. You know, if they write something that vague on the death certificate.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's my assumption, is that it was a suicide, because they have been so quiet about how she passed. And so, yeah. But, you know, she was also in Gossip Girl. She was in a variety of other things too, but I don't know.
My favorite episode of Buffy was when she wakes up in a mental institution and like everything up until that point was a delusion that she was having. And her mom was still alive.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really clever episode.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. There's an episode in season 1 where a girl was ignored so much that she disappears. and she gets kind of crazy with it. She gets kind of crazy and decides that she's just going to hurt everyone that ignored her. And so Buffy has to stop her, of course. But that concept of the fact that, like, because they were over a Hellmouth, there's just like magic in the air.
Right.
That because everyone ignored this girl so much, they didn't pay attention to her, she literally disappeared. I thought that was just such a cool idea. But yeah, I don't know. I just... Another thing, too, is Sarah Michelle Gellar had this reputation at the time of being kind of a bitch and being difficult to work with, quote unquote. I'm putting quotes around that. Because she tried to stick to contract when, like, Joss would say, okay, we're going to be shooting for 16 hours today. And she would notice that they're on hour 18. She would be like, hey, you said today was going to be a 16-hour day. These people have families. Let's stop shooting today. Let's pick up tomorrow. Right? And because she's the star of the show, she could actually have that conversation with him without worrying about being fired because the show can't go on without her. Well, he labeled her as difficult to work with and, you know, oh, she's such a bitch and I hate working with her and all these sorts of things when all she was really doing was looking out for the crew. So, I don't know. That's... Joss Whedon is not... he seems like a guy who got away with it for too long. You know, because he was talented, because he was producing, he could just treat people however the hell he wanted.
There's a lot of that in Hollywood. Probably everywhere. I read this book called Snakes in Suits, about like when psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists enter the workforce and how they climb the corporate ladder faster than anybody.
Yeah.
This is practically designed by them.
Yeah.
They're like people who are neurotypical rarely climb the ladder. Or they wind up in positions of power, like management. It's an interesting book.
What is it? The Psychopath CEO is kind of in the same vein, if you've read that book.
It sounds like it's probably this, like, the same type of stuff.
Yeah, the Psychopath CEO talks about how there was interviews and evaluations done of a bunch of like Fortune 500 company CEOs and CFOs and stuff like that, and a large portion of them were actually found to be psychopaths. And so this person wrote this book about like how their qualities apply to being a CEO, and talking about like this is a person that can make a decision to fire 4,000 people without worrying about those 4,000 people because he's thinking about the decision. Yeah. You know, he's thinking about the business. He's not thinking about the people, right? And so the Psychopath CEO was less like this is a problem type book and more like you should hire these people to be in this position. Yeah, and so it was totally a Kool-Aid propaganda book about like it's good to be a psychopath.
Well, Snakes in Suits kind of starts off with like, here are the benefits of hiring a psychopath, narcissist, sociopath. But then the last quarter of the book is like, and here's why it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And they'll completely gut your company without any hesitation. And so they'll bail out with a golden parachute.
Yeah, no kidding.
watching a movie called "It's Hard to Be a God."
Mm-hmm.
I heard that is it Robert Eggers who's doing the werewolf movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. He made everyone on the project look at this movie because he's like, this is what I want, kind of thing. It's a long movie. I've only gotten maybe a half hour into it. It's like 3.5 hours long, and it takes place on another planet. They're just like us, like Earthlings, but they're like 800 years behind us. It's like medieval times.
Bye, Magic Marmot.
It's on YouTube streaming.
Nice.
But it's beautiful. It looks amazing.
I think I'm done with panel 4. I'm debating whether or not I want to jump into panel 5. I got 15 minutes.
You're so fast.
No, I'm just insane. Plus, I only drew one ant, and I copied and pasted it a zillion times. So that helped. And I gave Philo pouches because we're still in the Liefeld verse. Though I'm breaking my rules by drawing feet.
I forgot about the Liefeld verse.
Yeah, I know. You're drawing feet, too.
I forgot the pouches.
That's okay. I won't hold it against you. Well, no, I don't think the Neds have pouches.
Okay.
I think the Neds are okay if they don't have pouches. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to wait out the last 15 minutes. I don't feel like drawing another panel. I'm just going to wait it out. I'm just going to do the 2 tonight. But then again, I was tending to Mama Cat all day. So while you're drawing that, I am going to go grab kittens to show you. I will be right back.
I think my Photoshop froze.
Oh, I am. I'm just showing. Hey, let me put me in the main window.
Wow, she's really docile.
Yeah, see? Those are the kittens. They're born today.
Welcome to the world, little baby.
No, baby. No, baby. Here, let me put you down. Okay, let me put you down. Okay, I got it. Give me a second. I gotta go real quick. No. I'll put it over here. Annabelle, leave it alone. Let's go.
Wonder how the other cats are reacting to the kittens.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to put him back. You guys.
Yeah, I'm surprised Mama wasn't freaking out at all.
She's a good mom.
Yeah, no, she's really calm.
Yeah, she's exhausted. You know, she gave birth today. And so,
yeah, but a lot of brand new moms freak out when you start moving them around with their kittens.
that was the first time I ever moved her, and she did jump out of the box. So, you know, so I put the box back where it was, and like, you know, put her back in the box, like, here, tend to your kittens. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have moved the box, but I wanted to show you guys kittens.
Very cute.
Because they're adorable.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Always time for kittens.
Agreed.
I like the forehead veins. That's a nice touch. Are you doing any design work right now, Gary?
Working on a bunch of different small projects. And stuff for friends and stuff. And yeah, commissions and stuff.
Just like quiet stuff, NDA stuff.
Yeah, nothing really cool to report. Nothing really big. Not a studio gig.
Steve Troop is this weekend starting his gig in Paris, California on a Harry Potter train doing puppets.
Oh, cool.
And so Paris, California is probably about maybe 30 minutes from where I grew up. And it's very hot out there. And so I keep, sending him like memes and stuff of like the hills have eyes and harbingers from like scary movies and stuff like that. Like, don't forget to, pay your tax, to the locals.
Oh, Steve Troop did Melonpool, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, many moons past. Yeah. No, we're still friends. I have him on the show once in a while.
Cool.
But yeah, I was talking to him when I realized I had forgot to book someone for the 4th, and I'm like, oh no! And I was talking to you and him and a few other people, and he couldn't do it because he had this puppet gig. And yeah, and I'm like, so you're driving 3 hours for a puppet gig? He's like, yeah. I'm like, one way for a puppet gig? He's like, yeah. But that's the life of a creative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so many people in LA are like, moonlighting is something else. So to be able to pay your bills with the moonlighting is nice.
Yeah.
Especially when it's something you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and something creative. And yeah, there in Los Angeles, there's 2 cities in Los Angeles, really. There's the celebrity city of like movies and Hollywood and where TV shows are made, and maybe you'll see a celebrity on Hollywood Video, and everything's super expensive out there, and there's the beaches and everyone's beautiful and stuff like that, right? The weather's great. But then the second reality of Los Angeles is the people that live and work there. And it's super tough for them.
Yeah.
It's super tough for them. How much is your rent, Gary?
I have let's see. It's like 2,600 split between 2 people.
Yeah, and it's like what, a 2-bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2,600 for a 2-bedroom. Yeah, I have
That's crazy.
I have a 2-bedroom here in Tennessee. It's $900
900. Wow.
a month. Gary, it's beautiful. It's larger than my last apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love LA too much to move.
I know. I loved LA too. I loved doing stand-up, and I loved all the food. I mean, best tacos in the world. And like, of course, the beach and the weather and everything. I don't miss the traffic.
Oh yeah, nobody misses traffic.
I don't miss the tap out guys from Riverside County and San Bernardino County. I don't miss those guys.
Oh, the road douches.
Yeah, I don't miss those guys. I don't miss the Orange County guys.
I never go to Orange County, so
Yeah.
I'm in my hippie
That
bubble.
that only care about like getting drunk and getting high and like partying, and they're in their 40s now and they're still acting that way.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like you just want to scream at them, just grow up. Right? and yeah, I don't miss that from Southern California. I don't miss the racism, from like you're sitting there eating at a taqueria, and then someone screams something at the taqueria out a window just because they're driving by.
I
Right?
never.
You never experienced? Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
think that's Orange County.
that's Orange County, probably. Yeah, but yeah, Minneapolis rent always over 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
the bag of dipshits live in Orange County. So
Yeah.
it's pretty. Where I'm at is like I'm nice and isolated, and it's progressive and melting pot, and small world. It's awesome.
Yeah. I know. And it's funny because what happened is LA had a lot of nice people in it, and then they got priced out and moved to Orange County. And then
Yeah.
Orange County got expensive and they got priced out, and then they moved to Riverside County and San Bernardino County. And now they're getting priced out, and those people are just moving out of state. The nice people. So you're stuck with all the like bad people.
Yeah,
Lots of gentrification.
Yeah.
when people complain about how dirty LA is, I'm like, shut up. If it was nice and clean, it would be unaffordable.
Yeah, I could see that, but like at the same time, I'm like part of me. There's like the memes about like people see the work that needs to be done. Why aren't we just doing the work? Why aren't we just hiring people to do the work, right? And it's like the mayor of Los Angeles could easily win points over if he just started an LA cleaning brigade and just gave people pressure washers.
Yeah.
Right?
Karen Bass is doing a lot for the homeless people. Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of headway made there. And
I've been hearing about the building of the tiny homes and the tiny home camps, and then giving them access to medical, mental, VA care. Basically putting them in contact with the social services that they need.
yeah,
To kind of help give them a leg up. And that's only a Band-Aid on the issue. What really needs to happen to get rid of the homeless problem is universal housing, like they do in Sweden.
in Finland. Oh yeah.
Yeah, in Finland, where they're like, oh, do you live here? Here, have a house.
Yeah.
Oh, do you make more than what the standard house that we would give you is? Well, you can afford a nicer place if you want, but if you can't afford it, here's the standard house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they still have the nicer places available, and people still buy them and still live in them and stuff. But for people that can't afford the fancy estate, they have the standard house. And that's where Bauhaus came from. Is Bau means peoples. Bauhaus is originally the people's house. And it came from Brutus archaeology or not archaeology, I'm sorry, Brutus architecture out of socialist Russia. And when Russia like fell, and you had all those post USSR countries, right? That like used to be under the USSR, and now they're like their own thing. You had all these people that are like, well, what about us? We don't even have a place to live, right? And so that's where that style of architecture came out of, right? And so here in the United States, that style of architecture is associated with like gentrified new neighborhoods that are like upscale and like charge a little more for like the townhouse. But over in Europe, it's associated with the like low class. Everybody has that housing, right? Because that's where that style came from, was like the standardized housing. And so when they brought the style over to America, they're like, no, it's rich housing. It's rich design. Yeah, let's break it down to its bare bones of the design, and then charge more for it.
Yeah, when I go out for walks, it's like I see, $1 million house, $1 million house, $1 million house. Like, what do you guys do for a living? Like, what do all these people do? They inherited it or something? It's crazy.
So, Jonah Hill, his last name isn't really Hill, it's Feinstein. And his father is an entertainment lawyer. And so Jonah Hill and his two other siblings went to a private high school. What I want to say, it's like Malibu High or something like that, in LA, in Hollywood, basically. That is like the high school that like every celebrity graduates from. Like Gwyneth Paltrow went there when she was a teenager and stuff like that, right? And the tuition there for a single child is $200,000 a year. And he sent 3 of his children there for 4 years of that high school. That doesn't even count the private schools of middle school and grade school leading up to that high school. Wow. So while his 3 children were attending there, at one point, he was spending $600,000 a year just to pay for his kids' high school. Jonah Hill's dad. Right? And so he's a Nepo baby, right? His first job in Hollywood was in a Richard Dreyfuss movie. Or no, not Richard Dreyfuss. I'm sorry. It was in a oh gosh, I can see his face. The dude that played Hook in Hook.
Dustin Hoffman?
Dustin Hoffman, thank you. Is in a Dustin Hoffman movie because Jonah Hill at the time was dating Dustin Hoffman's daughter. That's how Jonah Hill got a SAG card. Is he was dating Dustin Hoffman's daughter in high school, and he said, "Hey, can I be in your dad's movie?" And Dustin Hoffman gave him a speaking role so he could get his SAG card.
Must be nice.
Yeah. And Dustin Hoffman has said in interviews, I'm not supposed to talk about that, which means he's behind an NDA that Jonah Hill made him sign so he wouldn't talk about his relationship with Dustin Hoffman's son or Dustin Hoffman's daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, I love celebrity gossip because like you find out, like if you find out what the publicists don't want you to find out, you're doing a good job. Like there's a couple of celebrity gossip columns that I follow that are like, no, this is what's really going on. And so like what we were talking about earlier with that actress and stuff, these celebrity gossip columns that I follow talk about how to decipher the press release ease and the like, your press people, your publicists and stuff, the publicists ease around things, right? How you say things in a public way without actually lying so that you're not opening yourself up to liability should something happen, right? Like, no, we're denying the autopsy on religious reasons, right? Well, obviously an autopsy was done because they had a toxicology report. Mm-hmm. Right? If they denied an autopsy on religious reasons, why do they have a toxicology report? Those are two conflicting things, right? And then at one point, the coroner said it's a toxicology reason, which is a very vague answer because it could be a variety of things under toxicology. And then later on, 6 months later, the family says, oh yeah, the coroner says it was a natural thing related to her diabetes. But that wasn't from the coroner's mouth. That was from the family saying that's what the coroner said. Mm-hmm. right? So it's like you have to be careful. It's like a puzzle. You have to decipher the puzzle.
Yeah.
How are you doing on your leaf blowers?
Slow.
Well, I'm looking at our time. We're at 8:36. Do you want to tackle it and then get it to me later on in the week?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna cut it off there, and then what we'll do is we will say good night, Robin. And
Right, Robin.
yeah, I'll do
I
this.
bored her to sleep.
No. You didn't board her to sleep. No. She works hard. She like
Yes.
this is her third job on top of like 2 jobs that pay her, and I don't pay her. So like, it's okay if she's tired. She's tuckered out. She works hard. Good night, Robin.
Robin.
Yes. And so good night, everybody who joined us tonight. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the future. Produced by me, Amber Greenley. Thank you, Gary Clare, for joining us. I'll have a good one, and I'll see you next week. Bye.